So, Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0, another big night under the lights at Anfield in the Champions League, and a really, really top performance all round, wasn't it? So let's get stuck in straight to the player ratings. In goal, Mamadashvili. Again, he dealt with everything that we've asked him to. I feel like that's been Mamadashvili all along. I don't feel like he's ever had a chance to save anything that any of the goals that we've conceded. I've not looked at it and gone, we should have done better there. Not really. I mean, you could say maybe a few of them Alisson would have maybe done a bit better on, but that's being really, really unkind, given that Alisson, even after Thibaut Courtois' performance tonight, I still think Alisson's the best keeper in the world. So it's difficult to compare Mamadashvili to him, but his performance overall as a Liverpool goalkeeper in all the games he's played, I think has been really good. He's made some really big saves. We saw a couple against Villa, didn't he? A couple of really, really acrobatic saves to keep us in it in big moments of the game. And tonight, do you know what? There's only really one save he has to make. Bellingham in the first half. And he kind of hits it straight at him. He blocks it with his legs. And other than that, he dealt with everything pretty comfortably. Real Madrid didn't put him under any pressure, which is rare, isn't it, for a Real Madrid side coming to Anfield. It's not really been something that's very, very rare. Real Madrid playing anyone, the goalkeeper's usually under a bit of pressure. So I think Real Madrid might be a bit disappointed with the overall performance, but we limited them so much in midfield. They didn't really get the ball in key areas to create too many chances. So Mamadashvili did everything I'd have asked him to. I'd give him maybe a 6.5. Just been one of them nights. But good. It's still good. 6.5 is like a base. Did everything he needed to. Conor Bradley. Man of the match for me. That's man of the match done. Alexis McAllister gets man of the match from Amazon Prime. He gets the player of the match. But Conor Bradley, for me, I don't understand how he can't get it. He was absolutely outrageous tonight. He was just great. Going forward, they couldn't really live with him. He was getting forward into great areas. Defensively, he was so strong. So strong. Like, they didn't beat him for pace. They didn't beat him for strength. A couple of times he ushered the ball out of play, and the cop just really roused. It was absolutely fantastic. So Conor Bradley tonight, different class. I'd give him a 9 out of 10. That's a really top performance. He did it last year against Real Madrid as well, didn't he? And he's done it again. Although he didn't put Mbappe on his arse tonight quite. Certainly did with Vinicius Jr. though. The centre-backs, Kanate and Van Dijk, they're just world-class, aren't they? They dealt with everything. Kanate, at times in that second half, looked like Beckenbauer just carrying the ball out of defence. We can't lose him to Real Madrid on a free. Oh, by hook or by crook, we've got to keep him tied down to a new contract. Please. He's so good. I don't care what anyone says. I've had a lot of stick recently for saying that I wouldn't swap Kanate for any other centre-back in world football. And I genuinely believe that. He's absolutely quality. Yes, he had a pretty ropey start to the season, but let's be honest, most of Liverpool's team did. But he's absolutely unreal. You don't get a better defender than him. Now, I'm not saying that he is better than Gabriel or Saliba or any of the other ones, Bastoni. You can throw a lot of great defenders around there in Europe. But I wouldn't swap Kanate for any one of them. And I'm sure maybe Arsenal fans wouldn't swap Saliba for Kanate. That's fine. That's no problem. That doesn't mean one's necessarily better than another. Everyone's got their opinion. But if Kanate wants to sign a new contract here, we've got to move mountains to keep him. Because I would not want to sell him for anyone. I wouldn't want to swap him for anyone. I think he's a future leader. I think he's so good. I don't think there's a better centre-back around when he's playing like this. And he's really good. He dominates aerially. Physically, just an absolute specimen. He's just unreal, isn't he? You don't get the ball off him. He's quick. He reads the game well as well. He's really agile, and generally speaking, apart from maybe his first couple of years, we had a couple of injury issues with him, but he feels like he's settled down a bit now. He's always available. They've got him right. And I'd hate to see him go to them. It'd be a proper kick in the teeth to keep losing players like Trent and Kanate. for next to nothing. He's so good. I don't want him to go. I think he was great tonight, and I think he's been really good recently. Even in games we've lost, I think he was good against United. I think he was good against Brentford. Or at least he's been getting gradually back to his best, and I haven't had an issue with him at all in most of the games recently. So, plus the goal against Frankfurt, of course. I think I would give him a 7.5. Van Dijk, I think I'd give the same. Again, leader, incredible. You expect this from Van Dijk. You know, he is the greatest centre-back who ever lived. I'm running out of superlatives here. I know. You might say, oh, shut up, Key. But no, he is absolutely. He's the greatest centre-back who ever lived. He's fantastic. And you just expect this from him now. I didn't really see any concerns at all from Van Dijk tonight. He was brilliant. Andy Robertson on the left-hand side. I thought Andy Robertson had a great game, you know. Yeah, Andy Robertson was really good. And that's not particularly surprising either. Robertson, you can set your watch by him. He rolled back the years a couple of times. I actually thought we'd switched fullbacks. There was a moment in the second half where Robertson picks the ball up and he just burst past 2 or 3 Real Madrid players. And I was like, oh, Bradley switched wings and Robbo's gone over to the other side. We used to do that quite a lot when Trent was here. We have done it less, maybe, this season. I don't know if there's a particular tactical reason or a strategic reason behind that, but it feels like we've done that a lot less than we did last year and under Klopp. And I naturally assumed it looked like Bradley. And it wasn't. It was Robbo. He got a burst of pace and he was rolling back the years. Absolutely great stuff. Like Robbo of old. Played a lovely through ball. And we very nearly got through on that. So Andy Robertson was great. I'd give him an 8. Thought he was fantastic. What did I give Konate and Van Dijk? Did I give them scores? I'd give them 8. I'd give them 8 out of 10 as well. So Bradley would be a 9. Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, 8 each all round. Feels a bit harsh giving Mamardashvili a 6.5 then in hindsight. 7. He gets a 7. They all get an upgrade. Szoboszlai, yeah, terrific. 8 again. Szoboszlai, brilliant. You can set your watch by him now. He's becoming about as consistent as we've ever seen from any other player. Like Andy Robertson used to turn up every week. He had that little wobble last year, Robbo. I'm not going back to Robertson, but you know what I mean. Now, Szoboszlai, first name on the team sheet, Mr. Consistent, gives you a minimum 7.5 out of 10 every week. And tonight, I'd say he was an 8, maybe even an 8.5 actually, because there was a couple of shots. Maybe even no, we'll go 8.5. I'm being too generous now because he gets the assist, couple of shots. Yeah, he works Courtois a couple of times. I think he maybe could have done better with that chance that the ball goes in down the right-hand side. I think it's Wirtz who puts the cross in for him. Maybe, should he do better? Possibly. Being harsh. Don't care anyway, we win the game. So Szoboszlai I'd give an 8.5. He was terrific. Gravenberch, yeah, didn't really do an awful lot going forward. I felt like Slot had maybe given Gravenberch a different type of job tonight. I don't know if you noticed. Well, I noticed anyway. I felt like Gravenberch was doing something completely different in this game. That maybe he wasn't so focused on picking the ball up and driving. I feel like Slot said to him, if you get the ball, pass it off immediately. Like, I'd love to see what his touches were throughout the game, really, because it feels like every time he got the ball, give it off straight away. Don't do what your normal instinct is to do, which is pick the ball up and drive. Try and break the lines because you're quicker than them and you're faster. You're more physical. You can beat them for pace and you can dribble past them because you're really, really good on the ball. But often what that sometimes has led to is you'll do that. You'll beat through 3 or 4 of them. If you lose the ball, then there's a big hole behind you. And it feels like Slot has said tonight, we can't have that. You sit here, you're sitting here all the time. If you get the ball, foot in stuff is all, win it back, pass it off straight away. I don't want you going anywhere beyond this point. And it kind of felt like that. I didn't really see him move too further beyond maybe the halfway line at different points in the game. So, disciplined performance from Gravenberch tonight, and he did it well. It suited us tonight, really. Szoboszlai got forward a bit more. Wirtz, certainly. I think that maybe was why. Maybe it was more of a box midfield. I've been claiming and pushing for us to play this box midfield 4-4-2 style. And it feels like maybe we're moving more towards that with Wirtz, Szoboszlai as the furthest two, and then McAllister and Gravenberch a little bit deeper. And I think we saw little signs of that tonight. But Gravenberch, I thought he was really disciplined, did what he needed to. I'd give him a 7.5. McAllister gets the goal, back to his best. I'd give him an 8.5. Yeah, McAllister, man of the match tonight. Great against Villa as well. I'm really hoping it was just an injury. I said that in the match reaction, the player ratings for the Villa game as well. I'm really just hoping it was an injury, and he's finally run it off, or he's finally kind of rested and it's back to normal now, because I don't know if he's been playing through pain or I have no idea, but whatever it is, we haven't seen Alexis McAllister since last season. It's been an imposter. It has. It's been an imposter. Whoever's been playing him, it ain't been McAllister. And now we're finally seeing him. So this is brilliant, because he's given us exactly what we need. He was great everywhere tonight, and just really, really good. Strong on the ball. Popped up when we needed him with the big goal. And yeah, very, very disciplined alongside Gravenberch. So Tchouaméni, Camavinga didn't really get a kick. Bellingham did nothing all game, did he? Bellingham did nothing all game. He was forever trying to get on the shoulder. And actually, it was often Wirtz tracking him back, to be honest. A couple of times Wirtz robbed the ball back off him. So yeah, I thought Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai as a unit were really, really good. Into the front three, Salah. Continuation of the performance against Villa, wasn't it, really? Again, there was people in the chat saying this was his best performance of the season. I'd have to disagree. I thought Villa, he was sensational. Tonight he was very good. And it's great that we're finally starting to get him back. But tonight maybe lacked... He's still lacking that clinical edge for me. Couple of chances I've seen now for Salah where I'm looking at him and thinking, you scored that last year. It's not a criticism. It really isn't a criticism. He's wonderful. I love him. He's absolutely wonderful. He was great tonight. He was great against Villa. And he was a big, big difference maker for us. And this is the Salah we need if we're going to be challenging for any honours. Any serious honours this season, we need him to be playing like this. But he can really help us more. He can help us more. And Slot's commented on it a few times this season about how maybe... there's been chances where the Salah of last year would have took him and we'd have really done with him, taken him, we could have done with him. But he's not really done it. And then he'll do stupid stuff like that Brentford get. The goal against Brentford is maybe goal of the season already for me. And he can do it. We know he can do it. But we've not maybe seen, at least in my opinion, throughout Salah's time here, whenever he gets a chance, generally he's scored it. He's been quite clinical. And we've not seen too many absolute worldies from him. This season it's been kind of the opposite. He's needed more chances, but he's scoring much, much better goals. The goals that he has scored, I feel, have been maybe harder to take, harder chances. Certainly the Brentford one anyway. But Salah, I think, was still very, very good, and I'd give him an 8. I think he was very good today. Ekitike, dribbled quite well, held the ball up quite well, was a good focal point for us. Laid the ball off and sort of linked play up very well. And I feel like that's becoming more and more important again in this Liverpool side. It feels like we're craving a Firmino more than we're craving an Isak. Or Firmino more than a Harry Kane sort of thing. Someone who can drop in and link play up. That might be a better fit for us. And Ekitike can do that. And I'm not saying Isak can't, by the way. But, we've signed Isak and Ekitike, and the feeling might have been that we was going to try and stretch teams and go in behind and try and... But there's not an awful lot of space in behind when Liverpool play. And the natural tendency for both of those is to drift wide. So it'd be interesting to see what formation Slot goes with when those two are fit. But Ekitike tonight, I thought he was very, very good. I thought he was strong on the ball. Held it up well. He had 3 shots, 1 on target, 1 off target. I think the one that he had was the header that Courtois tipped over. He had another one that just went wide, both in the second half. And yeah, touches in the opposition box 7. No big chances missed. No successful dribbles out of 4. Did lose it a couple of times, but nothing major. 14 out of 16 accurate passes. Generally kept the ball quite well. So can't really complain about that. Won 3 out of 5 aerial duels. Committed 2 fouls. Yeah, he did fine tonight. He was fine. I'd give him maybe a 7. I thought he was better. Thought he was better than we saw against Villa. But both of those performances are quite similar. Against Villa and against Real Madrid, we've asked different of Ekitike and we've asked different of Ryan Gravenberch. Both of those roles have been tailored. I don't quite know how yet. Maybe I need to look at them with fresher eyes tomorrow. But my gut tells me that looking at this Liverpool team, the tweaks that have been made have been with Gravenberch, maybe with Wirtz latterly tonight, but certainly with Gravenberch and certainly with Ekitike. Those two have been asked to do something different, and the role suits the team better. Maybe it doesn't suit them so much just yet. Maybe they have to grow into it and adapt to it, but it certainly suits the team better. It's been better performances. So I'd give Ekitike, I'd give him a 7. On the left, Florian Wirtz. Or was he on the left? Was he in midfield? We don't really know. He picked the ball up centrally quite a lot. He did drift to the left, but he also drifted over to the right. Felt like maybe we gave him a free roll tonight. Couple of times he won possession for us high up the pitch. There was one in the first half where it was the first real chance we created in the game, wasn't it? It was McAllister where he skies it over the bar. Wirtz wins it in the corner, gives it off to Szoboszlai, I think. Szoboszlai lays it off, McAllister puts it over. But it all came from Wirtz pressing. And there was a couple of times that he did that. 5 touches in the opposition box. 1 big chance created, which I think was the Szoboszlai chance, wasn't it? He puts it on a plate for Szoboszlai. Penalty spot. Szoboszlai should score. He should score, but I'm not gonna go over the top on that one. Won the only tackle that he went in for, but also 4 out of 8 ground duels, interceptions 1. Yeah, a couple of times he did well and won the ball back high for us. So yeah, I think Wirtz, this was a much stronger performance for him, and I think this is maybe one of those turning point performances. He gets a start. That's a big vote of confidence for him tonight that Arne Slot has started him against Real Madrid. He's obviously, I'm sure he's been feeling a little bit under pressure because the criticism that's been coming in, and he's £100 million signing. Of course you're going to feel pressure, and you're playing for Liverpool. Of course you're going to feel pressure. That's a huge vote of confidence that the manager has gone, no, Real Madrid, we are under a lot of pressure. Not just you, but we as a team are under an awful lot of pressure. And I'm starting you. I'm putting you in the team. So I need you to go out there and show me what you can do. And tonight I think he did that. That was a really solid, without any assists, without any assists and any goals, Florian Wirtz quietly but confidently went about his game and did really, really well. I thought he was fantastic. I would give him an 8. Even though he doesn't get the assist or whatever, again, people are going to look about... There's always going to be them divvies, isn't there? There's always going to be them numpties online who are saying, yeah, well, he still hasn't got an assist. He's got less assists than this player and that player. Listen, if he's playing like that, we winning games of football, no one gives a toss. So, yeah, Wirtz, 8 out of 10. I think he was brilliant. Did his subs. Jones, Gakpo, both came on around about the 80th minute for Ekitike and McAllister. Didn't really do an awful lot. Gakpo had a big chance, didn't he? Cross came in from... Was it Salah? I think Cross came in from Salah. Gakpo gets across the front of his man, and probably should do a little bit better with it. Just hits it straight at Courtois. Maybe it's because he was so new when he came on. But Gakpo did well. Jones, standard really for Curtis Jones. Just comes on, keeps the ball, keeps it ticking over. I think he was itching to put one through Trent, wasn't he? He was itching to get stuck into Trent. But no, I would say Curtis and Gakpo probably 6.5 out of 10, did everything they needed to do. And Chiesa and Kirkes both came on in the 89th minute. Didn't really affect the game, apart from Kirkes deciding to try and take on Tchouaméni, and Tchouaméni left one on him, and he nearly broke his leg. But he was fine. Kirkes, he was okay, he got back up. And Chiesa, Kirkes, I mean, you can't really rate them. So I'm not going to give them any rating, given they only played a couple of minutes. Arne Slot, great game tonight from him in terms of game management. I think he made the right subs at the right times. He left them. He's been leaving them long, hasn't he? I mean, the Villa game was the same. We only made one sub in the Villa game, didn't we? It was only very late as well, bringing Wirtz on. And I don't know if that's a reflection of the fact that we put the weakened side out against Palace, maybe. That he's now saying, well, no, I've rested you, I've taken you out the team. Now, you guys are fully fit to go. And to be fair, they've done it, haven't they? That's vindicated Arne Slot. 2 huge performances where we've ran for days. We've absolutely ran the legs off these teams. And we've got back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets. Without the Carabao Cup, you'd have taken that. I think if someone had said you can go out the Carabao Cup, it'll be disappointing, but you'll get the 2 wins you're going to get, Villa and Real Madrid. Clean sheets, comprehensive wins, really good performances. Should have won by more in both cases. We'd have taken that, wouldn't we? So, delighted. Top performances all round. Really excited by this weekend's game against Manchester City now, and see how Slot lines us up. Does he go with the same team? Does he put Florian Wirtz back in? Does Cody Gakpo come back in? Maybe Cody Gakpo's a little bit hard done by. There's a few people saying that. One of our better performers this season, Cody Gakpo. So him being dropped, is that a little bit harsh? You know, there's rumours that Isak might be back fit. Does he come straight into the side? He's our big signing, record-breaking sign. Does he come back in? Does he go straight on the bench? I don't know. There's still a lot to be decided. We'll obviously talk about that in the preview as well before the City game. But that is my player ratings video. If you haven't yet, please do go and check out the match reaction video. Please do go and check out my 3 things we learned, 3 talking points video from last night's game. And it's tonight's game. I'm filming it straight after the game. But also, please do go and check out the lives that are coming up tonight. We've got Athletic Bilbao away at Newcastle, and before that, Qarabag v Chelsea in the Champions League. I'm live for both of them. Tomorrow in the Europa League, Sturm Graz against Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace against AZ Alkmaar in the Conference League. And then on Friday, Watford against Bristol City in the Championship. So, live games every single day on this channel. I do watch-alongs. That's what I do on here. We do live watch-alongs on all different leagues, all games around the world and different teams. And I just love watching football with people like you who also love watching football. I'm obviously a big Liverpool fan. These kind of give the game away. But yeah, I love watching football, and I love the comments that you guys give me in the live, and then we make these videos after it. So it's all good stuff. I hope you enjoyed them, and thank you very much. Please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.